Here are the ingredients. A little new school.
Me tell you, riches are free for the area. Riches are free for the area. Want to make some millions of the share. Riches are free. Riches for the free.
Some soul.
Think I might be over my troubles since you came around.
A little R&B.
If you found someone to do, what do I do? If he loves you truly.
And a taste of old school.
Doctor, run by you. You're bound to jump in a fire.
The heart of Bristol. Keep on moving. You're listening to Ujima 98 FM.
Greetings, my name's Makeda and you're listening to Hashtag Ujima Keep the Beat. This is our new show all about increasing blood and organ donation in African, Asian and Caribbean communities and other people of colour. We want to give you all the information you need, dispel some of the myths and answer your questions. Ultimately, we want you to improve your health. So do check out our website, it's www.trwac.org, where you can find all the information you need on blood and organ donation in our communities. We want to give you all the information you need, dispel some of the myths, and answer your questions. Ultimately, we want you to improve your health.
Ujima.
We've got a number of different shows in the series. We've got Ade presenting, we've got Muna, we've all given their own particular stories about blood and organ donation and with their own guests. And don't forget to check out our website, www.trwac.org, where you can find all the information about blood and organ donation. And you can make your choice and about donation and opt to donate blood if you want to from that website. Just go to the support tab and you'll find all the info there. So with me in the studio today is Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Oh, hello there. Hello, Bristol.
And how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm well.
Okay, so one of the first things I wanted you to do was kind of introduce yourself to Bristol. Who are you? Who's Kevin? What do you do, Kevin?
Well, my name is Kevin Simpson, and I'm a web developer.
I'm so glad you made the time to come on the show today. So the first question I've got for you is, what spurred you to become a blood donor?
I just think that giving blood is the most altruistic thing you can do, in the sense that, you're helping to save someone's life. I mean, I don't know anyone that would refuse blood if they needed it. They'd be ready to take it. But so many few people that would actually give blood to someone, unless it's someone who they know or blood or relation. So, it's quite an altruistic thing to do, to give blood, because, the system needs it.
Yeah. So who told you about it? Where did you see that campaign?
I don't know. I think I just, it might have been a TV advert or somewhere. I just saw a poster and I thought it was a long time, so I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. And when you first decided, did anyone try to dissuade you? Did any family, friends all say, hey, what you're doing, giving your blood, this ain't a very good thing to do,
Well, I didn't
encourage you.
I didn't really advertise, in a sense. Some family members knew I was giving blood, but I didn't really tell anyone, because I didn't want them to try to dissuade you. So I was just a bit stoic, in the sense that I just thought that I would just do it, and whoever found out. But I was adamant that I was going to give blood, and that was it.
Okay, and that was it. Okay. We're going to have our next tune, Got the Right Attitude, and enjoy this one.
Got the right attitude, and it makes me so happy. Ooh, you got the right attitude, and it makes me so happy.
Makes me so happy, baby.
Twinkle, twinkle on a star, just like magic, there you are, with a love made just for me. You fulfilled my destiny. And ever since you came in my light seems to shine so bright. There's nothing we can't do, 'cause I feel so at ease with you. There's nothing we can't do, girl, 'cause I can't keep my hands off you. And that's why you say you've got the right attitude. When it comes to loving me, it makes me so happy to know our love will always be. You've got the right attitude, and it's so plain to see. Until eternity, I will always be in love with thee. Got the right attitude. You got the right attitude. Yes, you do, baby. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, and it makes me so happy. Look at the children all filled with love. Believing me, that's what I dreamed of. Growing up to be so strong, teaching them right, they won't go wrong. A twinkle on a star, just like magic, there you are. With a love made just for me, you fulfilled my destiny. And ever since you came in my light seems to shine so bright. There's nothing we can't do. I feel so at ease with you. There's nothing we can do, girl, 'cause I can't keep my hands. 'Cause I can't keep my hands. can't keep my hands on you. You've got the right attitude when it comes to loving me. It makes me so happy to know our love will always be. You've got the right attitude, and it's so plain to see until eternity.
Jima.
All right, so Kevin, we're going to continue the questions. So I was going to ask you, where did you make your first donation? Do you remember where it was?
To the best of my knowledge, I think it was in a church in St George.
Okay.
Yeah, by the school. That was my first donation.
Yeah. Okay. And how did you feel? Okay, you'd volunteered, you're feeling all upbeat at that time, but as you walked into that place, what was that like?
I was anxious in the sense that I didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that it was I know that it was a not good thing to do, but I just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I walked in and I was a bit anxious and but I was put at ease. I was put at ease when I saw people younger than myself and older than myself giving blood, and so I thought, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Exactly.
Yeah. And in all these times when you've been giving blood, has anything notable happened? Anything funny? Anything interesting? Have you met someone famous giving blood? Have you?
No,
I don't know.
No. Normally it's such a relaxed atmosphere that normally I sit down, lie down on that sort of couch and that stretches the full back.
Yeah.
And I'll have my sleeve up and they'll be taking blood and I'll be just reading a magazine.
And you're reading while this is happening, so there's clearly no you almost forget it's happening. No pain.
There's no pain. It's just there's a little prick that from the needle.
Yeah.
And it's going to your artery, but after that you just forget about it, to be honest, because I just read a book or read a magazine while I'm giving blood.
Mm-hmm. That sounds really, really good. And more recently, obviously that church is no longer there in St. George as a blood donor centre.
No.
So where do you go now?
Normally Southmead by the Southmead Hospital.
Okay.
It's actually on the premises. It's like the blood donation thing.
Yeah, that's the main one, the main session. Okay, folks. Well, we'll hear a bit more from Kevin in a minute, but in the meantime, we're going to have our next track, and this is Lonely Nights.
Ujima Radio. Write, send, and shout it out loud.
To sign up as a blood or organ donor, you can log on to our website at www.trwac.org/support, or you can call us on 0798 302 6280. Remember, you can really make a difference, even save a life.
Well, these lonely nights
Right, that was Lonely Nights, and that was by the Valentine Brothers. Hope you enjoyed that track, and so we're back with hashtag Ujima Keep the Beat, and we're talking about blood and organ donation, and we have our guest Kevin, and just before I talk to Kevin, let's just hear a quick jingle.
The heart of Bristol.
Ujima 98 FM.
Okay, so you're back with hashtag Ujima Keep the Beat, and we're all about blood and organ donation. I have Kevin in the studio, and I asked him, earlier if anything notable ever happened, and he explained to us that no, he says just sits there reading a magazine, and blood is being taken, and it doesn't even really hurt except for perhaps that first little prick in your arm at the beginning. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So take us through that, Kevin. Just take us through again what actually happens. You walk into that centre. What's the process?
Well, you walk into the centre and you obviously register. They want to know that you are who you say you are and so forth, and they check the database. Then you have to fill in a questionnaire of various questions like have you travelled out of the UK or and so forth, and just various questions, and then they assess whether you can give blood, and then they will prick your finger to check your iron. They will take a sample of your blood and drop it in some copper sulfate, I think, and if it falls very quickly, then that means your iron count is very high.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then it floats or something, then they tell you not to give blood because your iron level's low. So basically, it's not that they're after the blood. In essence, they really want to make sure that they're looking after you. They wouldn't take blood from you if your iron level wasn't of the right level.
Okay.
So they want to make sure that they're looking after you, and then once they clarify that your iron level is high, then you can go on to the next stage of getting ready to give blood, where you sit on the couch or so forth that leans back, and then you can prick your arm and connect to a tube there where they start extracting the blood from you. Mm-hmm. And you can actually see the blood going into the bag and so forth. And then that's it. And once you finish that, they will tell you, they take a certain amount and then they will stop it. Then they put a plaster over the cut, that's the prick where the blood was taken. And then you can have a cup of tea or a snack.
And altogether, in terms of time, how long does that take typically?
20 minutes.
So not long at all, really.
No.
Not long at all. So I hope you heard that.
I don't even get to do much reading. So.
So you can't even read a full article.
No.
Yeah. So, if we're going to use time as an excuse, I mean, you can think 20 minutes, surely, it's worth it. Okay, well, that was great. We're going to come back and talk a bit more, and I'm just going to play our next track, which was actually requested by our guest today, Kevin. Why this track by Sam Cooke?
Why? Well, two reasons really. There's definitely a change has to come in the world because we're living in a world that doesn't seem to learn from its mistakes. And the pestilence, wars, famine, it just seems to be a recurrence. And one other poignant thing is that it was played at my father's funeral. So so it always has some resonance with me.
Yeah, lovely. I like this tune as well. Well, listeners, coming up, we have Train's Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. Enjoy.
Love Ujima, love Bristol.
You're listening to hashtag Ujima Keep the Beats.
In a little tent, and just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Lord, there've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it
will. Okay. And that was Sam Cooke, Change is Gonna Come. And that track was requested by Kevin. I hope you enjoyed that. So we've got our next question for you. And when was the last time you donated?
Well, the last time was the 25th of the 8th, 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in August. Okay.
Yeah.
And you just went after it, you went home, back to your work, or, went back to work and you felt fine?
Fine. They say once you give blood, you shouldn't do anything too physical.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, lift weights or go skydiving or something like that.
Right.
So, but I just think it's quite idiosyncratic in the sense that for me, I'm still quite strong. I still quite feel strong sometimes afterwards, and
okay.
I'll do other things.
Yeah. Okay. So, folks, you heard it yourself. These rumours about, it's leaving you weak, unable to think, unable to do things. No, it's not like that. Don't listen to it. Speak to people who have actually donated. Find out the facts. Don't believe the myths. Okay, we're going to change the topic a little bit now, Kevin, and we're going to talk about organ donation.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to ask you, were you aware that, the law has changed and now it's organ donation, with organ donation at death, it's assumed consent, in the sense that they assume that you have given your consent to donate organs. Were you aware of that?
I am aware of that.
Okay. And have you made your views known as to whether you consent or not? You don't have to tell me what the views are, but have you done something to indicate to the government or NHS that you do or do not consent?
Well, I was always on the organ donation list anyway. But,
right.
But this might sound a bit ironic or contradictory. I don't believe that someone should be, that their consent should be assumed even if they haven't did it, because but then they would have to ask themselves the question, like, would they want an organ if they needed it?
Yeah.
So I don't agree with this assumed consent, but then that person who may not want to be on that consumed consent would have to ask themselves the question, would they accept it if they needed it?
Yes. Okay. So so you've always been on that list.
Yeah.
And do you think, have you discussed it with your family as well? Because it's really important. I don't know if you're aware that, although it is assumed consent, if at the time someone appeared and they had already ticked it, for example, on your driving licence application, you can now tick a box to say that you do consent. If you haven't told your family, at the time, the NHS doctor can actually check with the family whether it's okay to carry out your wishes. And if the family says no, then it won't go ahead. So it's really important for people to talk to their families and tell them, what their views are. Have you done that part, just out of interest?
To be honest, many years. Well, I've been on that organ donor list for a long time, so I haven't really spoken about it as such. But I think it's important that people do. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, just to say, Kevin, any final comments on blood and organ donation?
Well, I'd say I'm a bit annoyed that there is such there's so few people that do give blood. Organ donation, I probably understand.
Yes,
because
it's a bit bigger.
Because it's a bigger step. It's something that you have to think about.
Yes,
but to give blood is nothing. It's for me. It's just something that you do.
Right.
And and it's an altruistic thing to do. And then, people that are so adamant about not giving blood, they have to ask themselves questions of, would you want it if you needed it? One thing what I read recently about when they gave mice that were elderly, so to speak, like blood from young mice, the elderly mice had a bit more vigor and vitality. So by giving blood, perhaps you are, passing on your vitality and energy to somebody who may be slightly older than you. Or
perhaps maybe you're giving that blood to a younger person and you're slowing them down. Perhaps.
Well, you never know, but I'm full of energy and vitality, so I'm sure whoever receives my blood will be bouncing. We'll be jumping over hurdles and stuff like that.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Kevin. Thanks for coming in today and for sharing your experience. Thank you.
Ujima.
To sign up as a blood or organ donor, you can log on to our website at www.trwac.org/support or call us on 0798 302 6280. Remember, you can really make a difference, even save a life.
Now in comes the musical theme from the King's Offspring, Jesse Rock. Some people you right, and them still choose to show you hate. Run them out of your yard. From them I play bad girl. I them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas. The spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas. Spreaders of rumors. Hey, so why should I be afraid of you when you bleed just like I do? The more you try fight, judge a light keeps shining through. So I've got no time for you, cause in my view you wanna step in on my shoe. You wish you never leave a loo and feel so damn confused. How every day you wake you ache because you know you're fake, and every step you take I bring you closer to your grave. But I am like a column when I easily shake. Me certain say I feel me none of who can't take. We guided by the monster, defender of the faith. Yes, ordained to be great. Oh, them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas. The spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas. Spreaders of rumors. But your teeth and tongue gonna let you down. Reward for your words shall be profound. Oh, screw all you want, but go do one.
The home of black entertainment. This is Ujima Radio.
Now in comes the musical theme from the King's Offspring, Jesse Rock. Some people you right, and them still choose to show you hate. Run them out of your yard. From them I play bad girl. I them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas. The spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas. Spreaders of rumors. Hey, hey, so why should I be afraid of you when you bleed just like I do? The more you try fight, judge a light keeps shining through. So I've got no time for you, cause in my view you wanna step in on my shoe. You wish you never leave a loo and feel so damn confused. How every day you wake you ache because you know you're fake, and every step you take I bring you closer to your grave. But I am like a column when I easily shake. Me certain say I feel me none of who can't take. We guided by the monster, defender of the faith. Yes, ordained to be great. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical, two-sideless. We call them modern day Judas, the spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical, two-sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. But your teeth and tongue gonna let you down. Reward for your words shall be profound. Oh, screw all you want, but go loo and drown. Me slew you like Goliath with a stone from a crown. Not even the dog that beset on the wall of Babylon shall escape in this time. So word to the wise, choose the right side, and don't you be hindered by your foolish pride. I said no weapon formed against I and I shall prosper, prosper. So tell me so force ripe and manga dog disrespect and face disaster. Cause them a backbiters, hypocritical, two-sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical, two-sideless. We call them modern day Judas.
Well, we're now into the information section of the show, and just want to share with you some of the many celebrities who have sickle cell and need blood. You have Larenz Tate. You might remember that brilliant actor from Love Jones, one of the romance films showing, black people in love, which is kind of rare on the screens. So Larenz Tate is a sickle cell sufferer and needs regular blood transfusions. There's Paul Williams of The Temptations, and Miles Davis, a trumpeter, all of whom had sickle cell. And more recently, Victoria Ekanoya, she was an actress in Coronation Street. Her mum carried the sickle cell gene, and her father, who died from it at age 41. So many, many people that we know in our community who have this and need blood. Good reasons to think about why you don't donate. Let's think about also Jordan Dunn. She is a catwalk model. You might have heard of her. Her son has sickle cell. And grime artist Leke, 2020, came out with a really good video called Hidden Pain, all about his suffering with sickle cell and trying to do something to encourage us to give blood. And he actually said in a quote that he knew someone who had to stop receiving blood because their body reacted when it wasn't from a black person, because, as you know, there needs to be matching of blood types. So, here's some food for thought. And on top of that, NHSBT, NHS Blood and Transplants, they also acknowledge each and every donor at different milestones in their donation journey. So, for example, when you first donate, you get your welcome and your thank you pack, including a red donor card and a key fob. After you've donated 5 times, you get your bronze donor card. After 10 times, you get a badge and a certificate. At the 25th time, your silver donor card, badge and certificate. And at your 50th time, your gold donor card, badge and certificate. After your 75th donation of blood, you get your emerald donor card, your badge and a certificate. And guess what? At your 100th, you're invited to a special ceremony. So you get your ruby donor card, a commemorative medal, a badge and certificate. This is in recognition of your time spent, your efforts for keeping yourself healthy so that you can donate. This is all recognised by NHSBT, and it's one of the ways we can help ourselves into better health by helping members of our community in need. And by doing that, we ensure that when we are in need, then there's something there for us. Another nice touch that I like is that when your blood is actually used, you receive an SMS text message, which is fantastic. You actually know that the blood is used. As I've said previously on this show and on previous shows, every donation of blood saves 3 lives. And potentially when we're talking about children, it can save up to 12 lives. This information section is brought to you by Makeda of #Ujima Keep the Beat, the radio show all about keeping us healthy, understanding how our donations of blood and organs can be used to help save our communities. #Ujima Keep the Beat, Ujima Radio 98 FM.
You're listening to #Ujima Keep the Beats.
Turn your lights down low and pull your window curtain. Oh, let your moon come shining into our life again. Saying, ooh, it's been a long, long time. I get this message for you, girl, but it seemed I was never on time. Still I wanna get through to you, girl, on time, on time. Wow. I want to give you some love. I want to give you some good, good loving. Oh, yeah, I want to give you some good, good loving.
Turn your lights down low. Never try to resist. Oh no. Nah, nah, nah. Oh, let your love come shining in. Nah, nah, nah. Into our lives again. Nah, nah, nah. Saying, ooh, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I want you to know right now. Know right now. Ooh, I love you. And I want you to know right now that I wanna give you some love. I wanna give you some good, good loving. I wanna give you some good, good loving.
Yeah, Loving you is like a song I replay every 3 minutes and 30 seconds of every day. And every chorus was written for us to recite. Every beautiful melody of devotion every night. This potion might, this ocean might carry me in the wave of emotion to ask you to marry me. And every word, every second and every third expresses a happiness more clearly than ever heard. And when I play them, every chord is a poem telling the Lord how grateful I am cause I know him. The harmonies possess a sensation similar to your caress. If you asking then I'm telling you it's yes. Stand in love, take my hand in love, God bless. Yes.
I want to give you some good, good loving. Turn your lights down low.
Right now.
And pull your window curtain.
Right now.
And let your love come tumbling in.
Right now.
Into our lives again.
Said right now.
Yeah. Ooh, it's been a long, long time.
Yeah.
I got this message for you, boy.
But it seemed I was never on time.
Still I wanna get through.
You're listening to #OGMA Keep the Beats.
So it's now time for our next track, and let's hear a little bit of Ika Ike with Where I'm Coming From.
And this a little up on mine. Oh Lord, 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 Grateful for the blessings that are falling on my table. Learning all my lessons, now I'm willing and I'm able to do just what I can. As humble as a lamb, working towards a goal, and we give thanks for helping hands. Pray for health and strength, a life, a length and peace of mind. Good people and good vibes, we give thanks every time. In every single line, even if it no rhyme, I go sing redemption songs to the people when I think of where I'm coming from. Looking back at where the journey began, I really have to say that I'm strong, I'm strong. All praises to the most I want. Look at where I'm coming from. Looking back at where the journey began, I really have to say that I'm strong, I'm strong. All praises to the most I want. Make me tell you about the life of a queen in a this your concrete jungle. Firm in a regime, so you're not gonna see me stumble. Mama said no come a town and mix with dirty bungle. See, they know me just a rise and summarize and some humble. Out of Christiana, yes, me left go look for mine. Never sell my soul, me settle down and take my time. Do it for the love, so naturally the lights are shine. Now me realize it's by design. When I look at where I'm coming from, looking back at where the journey began, I really have to say that I'm strong, I'm strong. All praises to the most I want. Can I tell you where I'm coming from? Looking back at where the journey began, I really have to say that I'm strong, I'm strong. All praises. Heights of great men, reach and kept. Remember when you got there, so you're not ever left. More while you want to dial, you might have crush up like a file. Still you better go and burn the midnight tile. It won't be an easy road, but anytime I overcome the pressure, yeah, it free my soul. Cause God will never give me more than I can bear. So tell me when I really have to fair. When I look at where I'm coming from.
We're now going to hear from a lady called Heather, and in stark contrast to the conversation we had with Kevin earlier, she's a little bit more hesitant about donating. Let's hear her views now.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. Okay, so the first question I wanted to ask you, Heather, are you a blood donor?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, and have you considered being a donor in the past?
Well, I've had people approach me over the years. I didn't go into detail about it.
Okay, and why is that? What do you think has made you cautious about it?
I think I was nervous about how many pints I would have to give, and they just gave me a note, a letter, a pamphlet to read, and I didn't know the procedure, nothing was explained. So I think a lot of it was out of fear, mainly. I suppose, out of fear.
So to reassure you, what would need to happen to reassure you to make you feel a bit more confident about it?
I think I'd most probably like to have someone sit with me properly, sit me down on a one-to-one and have a full-blown discussion about it, even if it just took 5 or 10 minutes, and possibly talk about the procedure and what are the contraindications.
Right, okay. So, I mean, I think at the moment they take about a pint of our blood, and I think we have about 7 or 8 pints in our body, and you can remake that blood in no time, as our bodies are fairly efficient. When you think about the Black community as a whole, there's a shortage of blood for our blood groups, and this is why we're always campaigning to try to get more of us to donate. You've told me about the barriers for you, that it's a lack of information, there's a bit of fear. Do you think that applies widely or more broadly to the general population, African and Caribbean people and, people of colour?
I would say, yes. I think that, so I've spoken to other people in the past about it, even my father, we've discussed it, and I think there's a fear of not knowing, I suppose, and I think there's a lack of most probably education, I suppose, in the community.
So what did your father say?
Well, he said that this is the first thing he said. And he didn't feel that he should be giving blood and that nobody should have his blood. And I asked what was the reason why. He just felt that the blood that was going to be taken, he didn't think it was going to be used for Black research. He thought it was going to be used for other things.
Right. So that was Heather telling us about her father's viewpoint, which was, a bit of suspicion around giving his blood into the system, and just goes to show that, we've got the people like Kevin who do donate, understand, and there's other people in our community who have fears about what will happen. So let's have our next track, and we're now going to hear Can't Be My Lover by Johnny Legend and Buju Banton. Enjoy.
Ujima Radio. We love Bristol.
Peace and body where every good girl deserves. Out alone is going to mess with my nerves. Blessed figure, not to mention the curves. Through the corner of her eye, she slowly observes. See ya.
Anytime she come around, something is about to go down. Listen to the siren sound. Wake up right now. Cause if I was to go to sleep, catch me dreaming of a way to creep. Trouble always seem to follow me. Oh, don't follow me now. I tried to tell her no, I already have a friend. She said nobody has to know. I've got to let her go. So I had to walk on by. She can't be my lover. She flashing me them pretty brown eyes. She can't be my lover. Though that green grass on the other side, all I can say is hi. She can't be my lover. Gonna give me a listen right now. Anytime she hear the beat, she be dancing right in front of me, trying to lure me in between the sheets. And I'm a man and I still get weak. I'll be down if I lose my girl. I'll be down if I don't touch her. Curiosity, it killed the cat. Oh, and I don't want that song. I tried to tell her no, I already have a friend.
I hope you enjoyed that. That was the lovely Johnny Legend and Buju Banton, Can't Be My Lover. So let's continue our conversation with Heather. And don't forget, you're listening to hashtag Ujima Keep the Beat, all about blood and organ donation. And don't forget, check out our website, www.trwac.org. So again, a lack of trust in the process and the system. Yeah. And I mean, when people speak like that and say, oh, I don't think my blood should be given and things, do they ever consider if they went into hospital and needed blood for a health purpose, you know? Because I always see it as, if I give for somebody else, then I'm giving for myself as well, because that means that somehow in that system there'll be something for me as well when I need. Do you think people ever think about that? It's a bit altruistic.
I think because there is sickle cell in my family, and my sister did a blood transfusion, the blood transfusion was, I think it was terminated. There was something not quite right, and then she had another. She had another blood transfusion again, and I think it's thrown a lot of people in my family off, and my siblings. But
yes,
I am not sickle cell, and I have often thought, even donating when I die, donating my organs, you know, for medical research for the Black community. I have thought about it, and I have put my name down at the teaching hospital to do that. But yeah, now the COVID is here, they've made me aware that they will, if I died say tomorrow, they would not be taking any bodies due to the COVID situation. So what I've done now is that I've now recently done a funeral plans where I pay, so that I pay into a funeral plan now.
The home of Black entertainment. This is Ujima Radio.
To sign up as a blood or organ donor, you can log on to our website at www.trwac.org/support, or you can call us on 0798 302 6280. Remember, you can really make a difference, even save a life.
You're back with hashtag Ujima Keep the Beat, and we're conversing with Heather about blood and organ donation. Let's hear a bit more about what she had to say. Do you know that organ donation upon death is now by presumed consent? So that means they presume that you've consented to have your organs donated upon death. Did you know that?
I wasn't aware. You're now making me aware.
Yeah. It has been the law for a while now. I think about a year. Could be wrong. But so basically, unless you opt out, it is presumed that you've consented. So how does that make you feel?
I feel violated because I'm not aware until you made me aware. And obviously, it hasn't been broadcast on the news that this is the agenda that the government's got. So I do feel violated.
Yeah, well, you can opt out. So just to let you know, on our website, I'll send you details after, but I'll just mention it now. It's trwac.org. And if you go /support, go to the support tab, and it will tell you about blood and organ donation. Go down a bit more, click on the link, and you can go through and you can opt out if that's what you choose to do. But each of us...
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yes. Basically, if you don't say anything, it's presumed consent, basically. For all of us, when we die, it is presumed, unless we've expressed a view, that we have consented. So this is why it's important for all of us to express a view, whether we want or we don't want. So that has been the law now for about a year. So do you know that amongst African and Caribbean people, we have the greatest need for kidneys, for example?
I am aware. I'm aware.
Yeah, we have the greatest need and we have the lowest number of donations for kidneys.
I would donate organs to the Black community if I know my organs were going to be helpful.
Yes. So you would be one of those people who may say yes. You'd be happy with that presumed consent then.
Yes, I would. Yeah. Under this umbrella.
Yes.
Under this umbrella that we're talking now, but I wouldn't like to just...
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're saying that if you knew your organ was going to help perhaps another African Caribbean person, you may be... Fine. Yeah. Okay. So don't forget, check out the website, www.trwac.org, and let us know what you thought of the show. Feedback or info at trwac.org. Look forward to hearing from all of you. And we're going to hear our last track, and that is Living My Life Like It's Golden by Jill Scott. So live your life, folks. Be positive. Enjoy your life. See you next time. Bye for now.
Hey.